All right. Let us get back to where we were, so we can have an effective start out to the continuation of our story. Which, thankfully, is going to go rather quickly. Because we have a horse. We have the best horse. Because Epona is the best horse. Thank you, horse. Okay. So when we last left, we had just finished the conflict in the Forest Temple, and we had restored peace to the Kokiri Woods. And it is with a heavy heart that we must kind of forever leave what was our home, as it were, in the woods. And trying to make our way in the world as it is. So we leave the woods, and we are greeted with the sounds of a volcano. Death Mountain is erupting at this point. And obviously, the animation here does not do the... does not do it justice, as that smoke around the mountain is supposed to be completely on fire. But we know that's what it's supposed to be. And of course, that would be the imminent signs of danger happening around the volcano. Now, you'll notice that I am currently going in the opposite direction of Kakariko Village, and there is a specific reason for that. And it has to do with how the story, I think, would be better played in terms of building Link's abilities up, as opposed to simply following through the quest, the trading side quest that is generally associated with all of this. And so, when he reaches Kakariko Village, there is some damage from the eruption. And people are running around trying to deal with the problem, trying to put out some of the fires. There's not a whole lot of damage, but there's enough that there's a bit of a kerfuffle going on in regards to... Ah, darn. I completely forgot that Scatolas were hanging around. Not that it matters, but, you know. And it's during this problem where Link is rushing into Kakariko Village to try and provide some measure of assistance that he runs into the Carpenters. Oh yes, this is the best music. So the Carpenters here, instead of being in Gerudo Valley, are in Kakariko, and they're doing their best with the limited tools they have, but they are... It's not going as well as he could. And so Link is offering what assistance he can, helping people get out and around. He hears the Chief Carpenter kind of complaining that he doesn't have all of the right tools. He offers the saw that was left behind. And it is there that he learns about the Bigoron tool that he had. And Link remembers Bigoron. He was introduced to Bigoron as a kid. And so, he's like, well, here, I'll take it. I don't need this saw. You can have this. And I'm going to go up and see what is the situation up with the Gorons, because that eruption is not normal. Oh, Moore, I'm so sorry. Pronunciations are fun, aren't they? Big Goron, Bigoron, Bigoron, Bigoron. All right, hang on. Man, I just put him down, too. Puppy, come here. You are going to provide joy. Yeah, I know. I know. You are going to provide joy, all right? We'll come back over here so we can have Puppy in a more... There you go. Good job. Good job. Oh, Alexandria, I thought you were telling a joke. Yes, I know. I know. I know, Puppy. I know. Thank you for providing love and joy for people that you have never seen and probably will never see ever. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I love you too. There you go. How about that? No? What? Hi. Okay, bye. Okay. Back to the thing that we're doing. And so, with that crisis, well, not crisis, but that little problem addressed, Link is now ready to head up Death Mountain. I kind of wish I could swing it. That would be entertaining. With Death Mountain having just recently erupted, the trail undoubtedly is perilous. In fact, that's probably putting it lightly. I could see, like, streams of lava going every which way. Obviously, we have falling rocks and ash. Hard to breathe well. I wonder at some point if Navi notices that there are no Gorons along the trail. maybe right around here. And trying to puzzle out what exactly the problem is, perhaps... I know, right? Oh, that was 50 in here? Huh, I always thought it was 5. Yeah, so in our situation, it's obvious that's just big lava and smoke and ash all over the place. And Link proposes that maybe because of the eruption, all the Gorons are hiding themselves in Goron City as a defensive measure. And so they enter Goron City, and initially it is absolutely silent. Just completely without sound. And obviously that doesn't make any sense. Ah, dang it. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to get a bug. Is this close enough? I don't think it is. It is definitely not. We need to get up another level. So they're wandering around for a little bit, trying to find some kind of hint of what happened. And considering the situation where oh, wow. If that had timed out perfectly for our little Link Goron too, that would have been entertaining. Anywho, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to have something to do while I'm talking about storytelling. There has to be some kind of indication that there has been some kind of conflict. So there would be signs of damage, probably blasts of fire or bomb blasts, gouge marks in the walls and on the ground. And it is during this observation and commentary of, oh my gosh, what happened here, that the two of them hear the sounds of a rolling boulder, which they quickly recognize as a rolling Goron. They try to catch his attention, but first there's kind of the runoff that we just saw, and then before they realize it, the Goron is suddenly coming back at them, this time on the attack. And so Link kind of has to dodge out of the way as it kind of rolls around. There's this little back and forth where Link is basically dodging the Goron back and forth and unable to get any kind of words to him until finally Link uses a little bit of trickery and a well-timed explosion to startle the Goron out of his roll. And obviously we are still in the oh no, I have been got, how dare you, hear my name and tremble. I could see our little Goron Link being absolutely terrified, but trying to put on, like, a brave face of, I'm Link! He's trying to be a brave boy, even though he's, like, almost certain he's about to get captured. But seeing Navi and then seeing Link, he recognizes that this is not one of Ganondorf's servants. And finally, the conversation is able to get underway. Oh my gosh, this is the Link. The hero Link. Oh my gosh. I find it amazing that Darunia would name his son after Link. But Link did a real good job. And so, there you go. And obviously at this point, Link is Goron Link's hero, wants to be as brave as him, but is not quite at that level just yet because he's still quite young. Not even 7 years old. I'm sorry, this is a complete aside. How do Gorons reproduce? Like, they're rock people, right? I have never seen a female Goron, so they're either asexual or at the very least monogender. Do they, like, take, like, a piece of rock off of mitosis? Like mitosis, they just take a big chunk of rock from their back and there. New Goron. Look, Daisy, we have gone through, like, 15 games with Gorons in them, and we have yet to have a female Goron. So at this point, until we see a female Goron, I have to assume that they don't exist. A little rock falls off their back and goes into a new Goron girl. Thank you, Alexandria. I think that makes sense. That makes sense to me. Sorry, complete aside. That has nothing to do with our actual conversation here. I don't want to have the autograph line here. The autograph line should wait until after the Fire Temple, when everything is restored and everyone's celebrating again, and this Link feels better, and our Link feels better, and there's actual time to, like, really think about autographs. Because obviously the more pressing situation is the fact that this is the only Goron in this entire city. With this line of there is a dragon inside the Fire Temple, we would cut to a flashback scene where we see Ganon reviving Volvagia from the lava in the Fire Temple, or maybe just from Death Mountain itself. And Ganondorf, Volvagia, and the armies invading the city and capturing all of the Gorons. There would probably be at least one Goron that's eaten right then and there, because you have to actually show that we mean business when we say, yeah, dragon's gonna eat everybody. Link is, of course, willing to help. It takes a little bit to get Goron Link to calm down. And initially, at the very least, Link and Goron Link start walking together as Goron Link is basically leading the way to the Fire Temple. And it's during this time that Goron Link shares this information here about what Volvagia was, what the hero of the Gorons did with their legendary hammer. And so, Goron Link takes our Link to Death Mountain Crater. We're not going to leave Goron Link here because I'm hoping that we can give Goron Link a little bit of an arc himself. And our Link gets the opportunity to be not just a hero, but a role model. I would treat this part of going through the back as a secret passage, as this is just game convenience. But regardless, we are brought here into Death Mountain Crater, and we're essentially brought to a spot where they are overlooking the crater and looking down into where the Fire Temple is. And there's probably some guards or something to that effect. And the question is, what is it shall we do? How are we going to sneak through and get in? And that is when the two of them hear a voice. Leave them to me. And Sheik drops in from seemingly out of nowhere. Sheik, who was still in Kakariko at the time at the eruption, knew immediately that something was wrong, and so headed up the mountain before Link even got to Kakariko to see what was going on. And Sheik has been scoping out the area to see what is going on. And so Sheik drops down and quickly takes out the guards as Link and Goron Link are slowly making their way. The Bolero of Fire, I think, is definitely a song that Sheik plays. Though not necessarily at this moment. I think the way that the Bolero of Fire is really kind of has the rhythm of almost a military march. It's something that is meant to embolden the soul, as it were. And so what we get into when we get into the Fire Temple is not just a rescue attempt, but since all of the Gorons are basically imprisoned, I almost want to... Well, no, I do. I want to treat this as a prison break of sorts. And so this song could be used to embolden Goron Link and the rest of the Gorons as they are nervously trying to figure out what are they going to do, what can they do against not just these guards, but this dragon. So instead of Sheik vanishing like Sheik always do, we want to have Sheik as active a participant in these events as we can relatively create. So, if that is what we want to do for this section of our adventure here in the Fire Temple, the question then becomes, what role does every individual play in this challenge? We have Link, we have Sheik, we have Link Goron, we have all of the other Gorons, and we have Darunia. I feel like Sheik and Link Goron should more or less be kind of the heads of the resistance movement, particularly Link Goron, while our Link does pretty much what we see him do in the temple itself, and that is primarily that of rescue. I do want Darunia to do what he does in terms of being the first to try and stave off Volvagia. And if this is being used as a prison and not just wait until the dragon comes and eats you, then Darunia probably doesn't go straight for Volvagia first. So if that is the case, then what would happen is they would come in and would be fairly quickly drawn to the sounds of conflict. There is all kinds of a ruckus going on, and following those noises, Link Goron, and Sheik run into Darunia, who is in the middle of beating the crap out of a ton of guards. He is getting a little overwhelmed, and so everyone's arrival is a timely aid. And together they are able to dispatch of the guards, and Darunia, once he catches his bearings for a second, he thanks his helpers, expresses his surprise at Link Goron, because what's his son doing here? I thought you were hiding. And he said, well, yeah, I did what you told me to, Dad, but then Link showed up, and Link? And that's when he takes a serious look at Link and finally recognizes him. So there's a big old brotherly embrace. Link is like, can't breathe. Until finally Darunia lets him go. And unfortunately, there is, of course, no time to catch up at the moment, because there is significant problems afoot. And so at the moment, their number one priority is to rescue all of the people in here. And so, with that being the case, they have to basically plan their prison break. Now, Darunia has already made a bit of a ruckus, so it's probably very likely that most, if not all, in the temple is aware that he is trying a very direct approach. So there's no real chance of having a stealthy outcome, but they decide that it's probably a good idea to just play into that. Link and Darunia will basically break people out by force. And while they draw the primary amount of attention, Sheik, being super ninja stealthy Sheikah person, will work with Link Goron to bring everybody together and make a final push for the exit when everyone is together. I do want to point out as part of this that Darunia already has the Megaton Hammer. He has been using it in battle. Because what else are you going to be using? Now, we don't nearly need to listen to all of these instructions. I kind of want to make sure that they actually quote-unquote get out. I don't know exactly how the programming works for all of those, so we might end up doing them anyway. Not that it really matters one way or the other. So as they get going, Darunia and Link use this time to catch up. There will be various opportunities, etc., to kind of discuss, where have you been in 7 years? When obviously growing up. And Link would maybe not necessarily talk about, like, oh yeah, I've been sealed away in a temple in a in a demi-plane for the last... I do not feel like I had that right. Oh well. We did what we needed it to do. That's all that matters. But regardless, Link would express the need to locate a temple here in the mountains. And Darunia would kind of look at him curiously in a... and basically ask him straight up, what do you know about our temple? I was told about it as an important means of defeating Ganondorf. And Darunia is a little hesitant, kind of stroking his chin a little bit before admitting, the place we are in right now is the temple you are searching for. What, really? Okay, let me up! Rude! I haven't put on the Goron tunic yet because I'm trying to construct a narrative. Essentially, Darunia would explain that this used to be the temple in question. However, it has not seen active use for quite some time. Almost to the point that many Gorons have forgotten about it. Many of the Gorons to this point have lost their connection, as it were, with the elements of fire. And their importance in the overall structure, as most of the elemental spirits are in some form or another. And Link is a little curious about that. He remembers that Darunia used a bit of that connection when Link was a child. And Darunia praises Link for remembering. Says, yes, there are many things that they can do. And essentially, it is through that connection that Darunia empowers Link's attire to give him fire resistance. So now Link is able to withstand the heat. Whether or not he is wearing red or if he's, wearing something else, like just keeps wearing green the whole time, that could be, that could go in either direction. We need a couple of opportunities to cut back to Sheik and to Link, Goron Link. Because we need to see... Basically, we need to give Goron Link opportunities to grow. And so there would be probably Sheik and Goron Link talking about the nature of fear, what Goron Link needs to do in order to combat that fear, the meaning of courage, stuff like that. And there is definitely some climactic time when the group of freed, escaping Gorons are dealing with maybe like they're trapped in a corner or otherwise blocked from progressing, and there are guards that need to be dealt with, and Goron Link is able to... Oh, wow, that... Crap! Oh, hey, it worked! Nice, hello! Welcome in! Welcome to story time! We're breaking a whole bunch of Gorons out of jail. This is probably, honestly, the most of an opportunity that Sheik has had thus far to talk. Which is funny because Link is not there, because Sheik is talking to our Goron Link. But it also, again, gives us glimpses into Sheik's personality. The idea that Sheik is very knowledgeable, both in leadership tactics, leadership qualities, and also in just being a very wise individual overall. Giving general hints as to Sheik's true identity, as it were. I miss doing this with the hover boots. Everything in this dungeon is better with hover boots. That wasn't too bad. It's alright. I'm now going to make my life easier. There we go. That could have been bad. I'm glad it wasn't. Whoa. I mean, if you're just gonna give me magic, I guess I'll take it. I'm trying to think what else that Link and Darunia could be doing as they're going through this. There would have to be at least a couple more fight scenes. Could probably talk about the Megaton Hammer. Because, you know, sacred relics and ancient weapons and whatnot can always get a... Okay. Can always get a little discussion or... This is the ancient weapon of my people. You know, that kind of fun stuff. The fire dancers. Because that's something else that could be kind of discussed, because we've talked about fire spirits and related things in connection to the fire tunic, obviously the fire temple, Darunia's abilities. So what would the flare dancers be? They could be kind of like what we saw in the forest temple. Basically spirits of the fire spirits that have either been corrupted or are otherwise just acting of their own accord. They could be maybe What's the name of the officer that's in charge of a prison? The warden. The fact that they're imbued with fire makes me think that that first option is probably a little more applicable. Ow. There we go. I mean, but that being said, it could be both. Ganondorf corrupting fire spirits and then employing them to guard the prisoners. That could work. So if that were to be the case, then, if this is the warden, as it were, of the... Of the prison, then... Then, obviously, Darunia and Link have been causing more than enough of a hubbub to bring him down, and there is a kerfuffle, as it were. And it is in the... it's in the clash with the warden that right when it looks like the warden is about to be defeated, the warden instead is able to summon Volvagia. So there was probably like a little chase scene. They end up in this upper area of the temple. And because it is so open in this kind of general area, it provides a place for... What do I think about the manga storyline with Volvagia? If I'm perfectly honest, I'm not a fan of it. Like, I can see why they wanted... It's nice to be able to bring in reasons for enemies and whatnot to exist. I feel like it was an unnecessarily sad story. I'm having a hard time aiming. That was good. Oh, there's a third one. I just want to make sure they're out of the way so they're not... Ah, so close. I should not be bothering with this. Nice! Well, I mean, you can enjoy the design and still disagree with the story. Also, can I just point out how cool it is that you can shoot from here and hit something all the way over on the other side of this wall? That's pretty awesome. Oh, I'm getting so good at running around that. Which is good, because falling down from here is a bad thing to have happen to you. Okay, so the warden basically unlocks the area where Volvagia is. Volvagia starts raging, and Darunia, Megaton hammer in hand, basically leaps into action. And so he basically gets onto Volvagia and starts doing battle with the dragon. The dragon is, of course, enraged and flies out of sight. Darunia and Hammer in tow. And at this point, it becomes less of a... Oh, there we go. That was weird. It becomes less of a rescue now, and, well, less of a Goron rescue and more of a Darunia rescue. Even though Darunia probably said something along the lines of, "See to my people," kind of deal. Is Volvagia undead? You know, by the strictest definition, he probably is. Since he was dead and was revived by an evil person. Makes sense to me. Also explains how he burns up and becomes a skeleton later. So what probably ends up happening then is that Link very quickly grabs like the last... straggling Gorons and heads back to the rest of the group, who is now all together and basically waiting for the go-ahead. Link should not have survived that. Anywho. So heading back, Goron Link is obviously like, "Where's my dad?" Sheik and Link both are quickly discussing the situation. What do they need to do? That is the wrong button. There we go. Is that everybody? Yes. Where's my dad? Don't worry, I'm going to go get him. You need to lead your people out. And so, Goron Link and Sheik then take charge in leading everybody out. While Link runs off after Volvagia. Ow. Darn it. There we go. I did say I wanted a scene where Goron Link gets a chance to show his bravery, this would be that scene. Instead of Link running around here and having to deal with the same flare dancer, it would be Sheik and Goron Link, who are faced with a obviously very beat up and very annoyed Warden, who is still intent on carrying out Ganondorf's directive. And together, both of them are able to defeat the Warden once and for all. And Goron Link gets a prime opportunity to show his bravery. And it's a very transforming moment for him. No, not a Goron Warden. The Flare Dancer. Good grief, I am keeping mind control out of my stuff as much as I can. Ugh, I hate mind control. We jump back over to Link, and he has been giving chase. And he is able to track them down. And so when he arrives, Volvagia is already outside, and Darunia is still on top of him, trying to bash his head down with the hammer, until eventually Volvagia is able to throw him off. Maybe throw him into the wall or something, but Darunia subsequently falls into the lava and does not immediately resurface. However, the impact against the wall made Darunia drop the hammer onto this central area. And so Link is able to pick up the Megaton hammer and utilize it in the next big fight scene. Obviously, whack-a-mole is a little too basic to have happen over and over and over again. We could definitely have one or two instances of whack-a-mole. But, oh gosh, I don't know if any of you remember the official artwork for the Volvagia fight. It looked really, really awesome. It actually scared me as a kid. I thought, how the heck am I ever going to beat that thing? That looks freaking terrifying. I know. But anywho, there would definitely be a point where Link, just like Darunia was doing previously, has to basically ride Volvagia and avoid getting thrown off, thrown in the lava, have fire breathed on him. All the good dragon stuff. I'm surprised I got that. There we go. I would definitely want the final blow to be the hammer. But he definitely is consumed and leaves nothing but a skeleton behind. It is after the battle has finally ended, and Link is recovered, feeling a little relieved, but still very concerned about Darunia. And he looks over into the lava where he had fallen before, and initially there is no sign. And perhaps Darunia has in fact melted, or it is otherwise dead. When there is a fiery light, as it were, coming from within, and Darunia... I thought he would be like levitating up, but I think it'd be a lot cooler because this is Darunia. If he's like, just like manhandling his way back up the platform and looking like a boss doing it. I know, Ollie, right? There is a, oh my gosh, you're alive kind of moment. And there is also the awakening that has occurred, where Darunia sees his part in this and Link's part in this and everything that needs to happen for him moving forward. The message more or less kind of remains the same, everything that was just talked about. I'm just looking at it, just looking at the title, that should be the one. Anywho. Darunia gives Link two things. One, of course, is the medallion. The other is some kind of token. Something to give to Goron Link, Darunia's son, to basically be a indication that Darunia is not dead. And he will be back when his task is completed. The Gorons... they either went back to Goron City, or they might be here in the Fairy Fountain. I could see, since Sheik is Zelda and knows Zelda's lullaby, would be able to ask the Great Fairy to provide protection for everyone. And so Link rendezvous with them here. There is a celebration with news that Volvagia is dead, and the people are free, the Gorons are free to return home. There is a heartfelt moment where Link Goron is sad because his dad is not here right now, but he's not afraid because he had his, he had his moment. He realizes that he can do things on his own as well, and he is going to hold the fort until his dad is able to return. And he feels very good about that. And everyone is very proud of him because he's a good boy. There is a celebration of sorts, of course. A party. Everyone is happy. Oh. Yes. I want to stop back in Goron City real quick. Oh, can I not get... I should be able to get up that. Yes, I can. This is so much faster. It amazes me that I never once thought until recently that I could use those things to quickly get up and out of here. It's so much faster. There we go. Okay. Oh! Okay. I thought that was a heart piece. I was wrong. I was very wrong. Oh well, I've loved health now. With the conclusion of the party, Link inquires as to Bigoron. Is Bigoron okay? And they say, oh, should be. It's not like they can move him. Because, you know, he's as big as a mountain. So, with that knowledge, Link proceeds up and over to where he knows Bigoron is. And things proceed more or less the same as it occurs here. How old? That's a great question. How... Is this what happens when you don't have any Goron children coming off of your back? You just keep growing and growing in rock mass. And since you don't have any Gorons coming off of you, you don't lose any mass, and so you just get bigger and bigger and bigger. That is my new theory. This is what happens to Gorons if they don't have any children. You don't understand! I gotta have kids! Otherwise it won't fit in my house! Ow. That did not go as desired. Anywho. So the conversation goes as expected. Bigoron is... in Breath of the Wild, yes. They let a Goron into Gerudo Town, and Goron was like, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be here or not. See, obviously the Gerudo are aware that there are no such thing as... Gorons are agender. They do not have a gender. I'm calling it. They use brother as in term of endearment, like bros, but there's no gender for Gorons. That is my belief until proven otherwise. Anywho... Back to the discussion we're having. So yes, the conversation goes pretty much the same way it happened up there on top of the mountain. Bigoron sees that someone is there. He's happy to help. He takes the sword, tries to look at it, he tries to get started, but he can't. Because his eyes hurt too badly. They're too dried out. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. I need to make it daytime. Because I don't think... No, I have not. And unfortunately, he has run out of the eye drops that he has used previously. I won't necessarily say that Bigoron suffers from chronic dry eye, but living outside and next to an active volcano, he's had this issue before. That's why he knows that... Oh, wow. There we go. First try, and I lucked out. And so with that information, I've been down here before, right? I'm pretty certain I've been down here already. Oh, I haven't. Okay, hang on. I want to see something. I saw a hint that said that Re-Dead will... Oh, wow. Yeah, he just straight up ate that other Re-Dead. Huh. Well then. That's interesting. Oh, it's another... I play too many randomizers. I don't remember where anything actually is located. It's fine. We'll be fine. The terror in Ocarina of Time, it's so interesting, honestly, how much they could get away with in this game. Like, we have the giant moon and the never-ending countdown of Majora's Mask. We have the shadows and darkness that is Twilight Princess. And yet, for some reason, despite that, there is something about Ocarina of Time that is straight up terrifying. Especially the Shadow Temple. The Shadow Temple and Beneath the Well. Just, yes, let's just go all out horror, shall we? Sounds like a great idea. As Link and Navi are going back up Zora's River, they are, of course, reminiscing both about the adventures that they had here previously and also being understandably concerned about whatever it is they happen to... whatever has happened to the Zora since. Because, of course, Ganondorf would not just leave the Zora alone after everything that's happened to everybody else. And it's Link that first is like, it's getting colder here? And that progresses to Navi agreeing that's getting a little colder, and then, oh, look, it's snowing. Why is it snowing? It's summer. And then, of course, they enter in the domain, and everything is frozen solid. I want to go, like, full Twilight Princess situation, where you can see the Zora frozen in the water. Depending on how graphic you want to get it, you could have some of them, like, halfway up, reaching forward, just like... And it's just... It's bad. It's all bad. And Jabu Jabu himself, of course, frozen in an ice that has never been seen before. They have enough access to fire, Link and Navi do, that I feel like they could try and utilize some of it to... Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. We have to go back here and into the ice cavern, right? But there is... Hi, Mixed Master Mates. There isn't any real reason to go back here, narratively speaking. Aside from we're trying to find something. So, what would lead Link back here? If... We either have two options, at least in my mind. I can think of two options. Option one, we already know that Sheik is going to be here. Outside of our story. We know that Sheik is going to be here. And we know that Sheik is trying to free some of the Zora from their icy prison. We could kind of, sort of, bypass the ice cavern, or have the ice cavern be technically part of Zora's domain. And so Link finds Sheik trying to make further attempts to rescue people from the ice. Or Link would need to be able to free somebody from the ice himself and have them tell Link that there is something back here that he should be getting. And I think that the first option, I think I like that a little better. this is another opportunity for Link and Sheik to interact with each other and adventure together. Ah, crap. Ah! It's fine. That's less than fine. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we'll get rid of the bug. So if we make this a part of Zora's domain, then Link would be... Link and Navi would be looking around. They have seen the state that Zora's domain and King Zora are in. And then they hear the sounds of someone trying to chip away at ice. They follow the sound, and they run into Sheik, who is still trying to find a way to rescue other people from the ice. Link, Navi would ask, how long has it been like this? And Sheik would probably say something along the lines of, I fear this is a fairly recent development. Most likely Ganondorf has tired of... Yeah, I mean, he'll tire of any place that is resisting him. And the Zora would, of course, resist Ganondorf, as they did previously. And a lot of the information, or pretty much all the information, that Sheik will give Link for us later on... Oh, I don't think I'm close enough. Oh, good, I am. That's nice, thank you. Okay. The things that Link and Sheik are trying to locate as they are adventuring through this cavern, I can think of a couple of things that they could be looking for. They would need to find either... the iron boots, which probably they're not aware is in here. But they would definitely be trying to find, I think, this blue fire that we're working with. Not necessarily I am looking for the blue fire, but more I am hoping to... This would be Sheik talking. I am hoping to uncover a way to deal with this red ice. we know in the game that the only two things that are covered by red ice in Zora's domain are Lord Jabu Jabu and the store, but there could even be other individuals. Maybe even like... Ha ha ha, thank you, Daisy. Let's see. We'll do it this way, because I need more blue fire anyway. Oh, come on, let me up. Thank you. So, depending on kind of what properties we want to give the red ice, it could be that the red ice is encasing every single Zora and not just a select number. And so Sheik is hoping to identify some method of reviving the Zora. I don't think I'm going to be able to, but I'm going to give it a shot. Oh, I might be able to. Ah, I don't have the right angle. All right, that's fine. Can I get it from here? Aha! I'm basically just trying to save myself some time. Whether this is actually saving time, I have no idea. Ooh, hello. That would have sucked. Either the blue flame would be held in some kind of shrine type area, or maybe because it's basically alchemical fire, it could be that it's something that Link and Sheik need to more or less kind of like find the formula for. There is no excuse for having such an easy mini-boss. No excuse! That's why in the Master Quest version they gave us a Stalfos. At least that has some kind of challenge. And so by obtaining the blue fire, and... yeah, there was always a question of where the rest of the Zoras went. Basically, the idea is that... I mean, it's right here. Zoras are sealed under this thick ice sheet. I don't like the fact that it's... all the Zoras are sealed. Oh, except these two. Also... how did he manage to rescue Ruto? Like, really? You were able to get her out, but nobody else? Where's the hole? So I prefer the idea that the red ice basically affects all of the Zora indiscriminately. And that also gives Sheik a reason to stay behind, because Sheik is going to work on producing more blue fire so that more of the... so that all of the Zoras can be rescued. I would say Sheik would know where the water temple is. Well, yeah. Link was told under a vast lake. What other lake is there? Lake Hylia. Now, generally... generally, ninjas are known for having, like, walking on water type of abilities. But maybe, instead of, like, iron boots... Sheik could instruct Link on how he could make himself sink. So there's a thought. Because I can't think of too many reasons that the Zora would have these iron boots lying around. Now there's one final question that I need to try and make here. And it is a question of character locations. So... Sheik would get to work on... Oh, sorry, I should probably address what you said before, Daisy. Ruto was never under the ice that Sheik saved her beforehand. I would agree with that. That would make sense. Like, the ice is starting to thaw, or starting to freeze over, and Sheik is able to rescue Ruto before it catches her, basically. No, you're fine. Do things. I love any and all input you all are willing to provide. Willing/able to provide. And if you are busy or just want to listen to me ramble, why you want to listen to me ramble is surprising and very appreciated. Not very surprising. If you don't want to listen to me ramble, you wouldn't be here in the first place. And I'm grateful that you all want to listen to me ramble. Anywho, if that's all you can do, then that is what you can do, and I am glad that you are here to listen to me ramble. Anywho. Link would take some of the blue fire while Sheik is basically mass producing it as best as she can. And he would at least... Oh, thank you. he would at least bring enough to thaw out King Zora. We're not going to be addressing the Zora tunic just yet. Just like with Darudia, I want Ruto to give Link that ability. But it's the question regarding the prescription. Because the way that it is given to us here in the game, we have to go all the way to Lake Hylia. I can't believe I didn't take any damage. We have to go all the way to Lake Hylia. Oh my gosh, I'm having trouble here. Let me up the ladder! Thank you. And then all the way back up Death Mountain with a time limit. Additionally, we have the problem that involves I don't want to necessarily lose our being pressed for time. Ruto has gone to the water temple by herself. She is in danger. We must help her. You know, that kind of deal. So how do we effectively balance out all of these moving objects? Huh. The frog itself is not exactly prone to be viable in a frozen environment. And so it's likely not the case that the eyeball frog is actually, like, available immediately at that moment. Which unfortunately means that I probably should have waited to do this until after the water temple. Because after the water temple is done and Morpha is defeated, the curse is dispelled and Zora's domain is returned to normal. Which means that the environment is now once again viable for the eyeball frogs, and therefore the potion, the eye drops, to be produced again. So instead of having to go all the way to to Lake Hylia, and then all the way back across the country to Death Mountain, it would make a little bit more sense than if the eye drops are produced at Zora's domain, and they're just not made until after the water temple is dealt with. So that's something I need to try and remember is a thing. Oh, thank you. I'm on a time limit here. So, for the sake of our story at the moment, we are jumping a little bit ahead. Thankfully, this will not actually have any major impact on the main plot. It simply changes a couple of starting points that we can very easily describe and address. Once we get to it. Okay, we have plenty of time. Olive Just! Ho! 14! Hi there! Welcome on in! Oh, that's enough. Dang it, I don't have time for you! Libby nailed it! Welcome on in, everybody. Appreciate you all being here. And welcome to my story crafting. We are going through the entirety of the Zelda Pantheon. We are starting here with Ocarina of Time, so we've just started this initiative. And we are expanding on and fleshing out, as it were, the story of every game. So case in point, here we are with the Bigoron Sword. And it's great to have the Bigoron Sword. I love using it in-game. However, it's always been a little off that the... Allie, hello. It's always been a little off to me that the Master Sword, the Blade of Evil's Bane, the evil-destroying sword of legend, is basically outclassed by a... Oh, wow. Hello. Stretched that wrong. By a longsword, basically. That doesn't make sense to me. So... what I think would make... Bigoron Sword is all you need to beat the game, pretty much. So what I think would make a little bit more sense, then, is to do something like they do in A Link to the Past. Don't replace the Master Sword. Improve on the Master Sword. If Bigoron is this world-class smith... And the Master Sword has basically just been sitting in a pedestal for the last who knows how many thousands of years. Do some reforging. Improve upon the blade. But we won't big. I think I need one more. I know, I like a good forging scene, you know? And we can have the Master Sword be a little longer in the reforging. I mean, not like two-handed. In terms of what we see in our gameplay, obviously that would be different, but we're just creating the story here, which makes things a little bit easier to work with. Yeah. I mean, not add Razor Gold Forged swords in the randos, but more like what you see in, like I said, A Link to the Past or Majora's Mask. You get the sword improved upon, which makes life easier for everybody. Well, it certainly makes life easier for me. Now, like I said, in order for everything to kind of fit together, I did the Bigoron thing just a tad early. We would not have it happen until after we've dealt with the Water Temple. But now we have a Bigoron sword for the Water Temple, so I'm not complaining. I mean, if you really want to, you get the Bigoron sword before entering the Forest Temple, so... just trying to make it narratively cohesive. Now, I'm going to do this temple in as efficient a manner as I can to basically save on all of our sanity. But the way that we talk about what is happening in the story is something else entirely. And the first major thing that is going to be just a tad different just like what we had with the Fire Temple, we're not going to be spending the entire time in this place by ourselves. Oh, you know what? I need to hook shot up anyway. I might as well just... There we go. That's easier. I missed. I didn't miss. So, the big question, then, is kind of how is this going to play out? I miss having a button that I could just, you know, do a thing with. It's so much easier in a randomizer to switch between stuff. It's fine. Okay. So initially, Link and Navi are trying to wander this place by themselves, looking for any indication that anyone is nearby. They search through a few rooms and hear movement. Well, actually, no. They don't hear movement. Because the idea here was supposed to be you turn the corner and there she is. I just happened to be messing with the camera because I wanted to see when the thing actually triggered. But if we have a situation where Link is holding his breath, wandering down here with Navi, looking around, and then all of a sudden has to protect himself from a random, like, arm or fin, or maybe Ruto is... No, Ruto as an adult, it really doesn't use... Like, just a fin coming for his neck. And it's just... And Ruto is about to, like, land a second strike until she sees who it is. There's a kind of a deal. Shimagamics, I can do this place efficiently. Thank you very much. I will show you. Anywho. They're not in the best place, obviously, to have a conversation because Link is... He doesn't breathe underwater. And so... Well, that's because she is bodacious. Oh my gosh, go look at her in Hyrule Warrior. She's freaking hot! Anywho. There's two different ways that we can do this. And I think that it's probably best if the first thing that happens is they go to a surface, someplace to breathe. So they come up to a place where there's air. Link is catching his breath. Ruto says something along the lines of, "Is it really you, Link?" And Link says something to the effect of, yeah, no, it's me. And then, first off, it's the big sigh of relief from Ruto. Good. And then the next thing is Link getting slapped across the face by Ruto. You are a horrible man to keep me waiting for 7 years! Is this how you treat your fiancé? And Link, who of course has no idea what the heck of betrothal is or a fiancé, much less what marriage is. It's like, what did I do? What did I do? And so... there's a... I mean, she's still a tsundere. She's still a complete tsundere. We haven't gotten over that. And so she's not telling him why she's upset. And eventually the conversation then turns to what's going on? What are we doing? What are we looking for? Well, thank you. And she says that the source of what is frozen Zora's domain over is somewhere here in the temple. I can feel the water spirits, and they are... some are crying, and others are twisted in some kind of manner. And so Ruto is sensing these shifts in the water currents and from the water spirits, and that's what she is essentially following in order to find the source of the curse. And she points at Link. She says, "You are gonna help me." And Link's just, okay. Sure, I was planning on doing that anyway. And in Ruto's mind, or maybe to the side, in some general manner, it's the, he was already coming to help me, what a brave man! Because, of course, every tsundere is two minds about everything and refuses to explain their feelings to anyone. I could have just Din's fired that, but I think it's a cool show of skill to be able to pull it off like that. Yes, I am trying to show off to you all. So just like with their time in Jabu Jabu together, we now have Ruto and Link exploring the dungeon together. Oops. They're exploring the temple and having conversation. I don't think that we gave too much opportunity in Jabu Jabu for the two of them to build a legitimate relationship. And that was partially by design and partially kind of as a, well, I'm trying to figure out how this dungeon goes, so I'm not thinking too much about their relationship. I mostly wanted it to be a one-sided deal because it's funnier that way. But now that we've more or less established their adventuring abilities together, how they they complement each other, now would be a good opportunity for the two of them to build an actual rapport with one another. The question then is, what do they talk about? Wait a second. I don't think I need to do that. I can just dive. There we go. Anytime you don't have to press the pause button, the better. There we go. Anytime that there is a raising or lowering of the water, whether it is the full-on... Oh, hang on. There we go. Whether it's the full-on, like, floor level or just those water jets we were working with previously, I would probably have Ruto be the one doing that, since she has that general kind of ability. To manipulate water. But besides that, there is plenty of opportunity for Link and Ruto to act individually and as a tandem, both in and out of water, depending on the situation. Oh, that's right. So again, back to the question of what are they talking about as they go through this. There is definitely the question of where has he been for 7 years? And how long does it take before Ruto is able to essentially kind of wring the truth out of him? Because I think eventually Link would say something to the effect of, I have been in stasis for 7 years. I literally could not move anywhere. I think it's a great idea. Have them work with Link. It deepens our bond because we haven't really gotten any chance to interact with them otherwise. There could even be like a full-on, like, awkward silent situation where Link's trying to bridge the gap. Navi's trying to encourage him, and Link's like, I never know what to say with this kind of stuff. And Navi's like, yeah, and that's why you never talk. Come on! And so Link would say something really, really, maybe not dumb or anything like that, but definitely like something simple, like what's your favorite food or something like that. See? Efficient. It is during one of the deep dives like this where it becomes plainly obvious that Link is having trouble breathing. And Ruto would then utilize her powers to give Link the ability to breathe. I'm not exactly skilled at couples writing, but at the very least, I know that the end goal is for them to actually kind of hit it off. Their conversations, their interaction, their teamwork ends up becoming very fluid. Pun fully intended. That's right. Okay, that one has to wait because we need a long shot. And then I need a bow. And it gets to that point, honestly, where Link and Zora, it's no longer a one-sided infatuation from tsundere. It's a blossoming relationship based on mutual trust and chemistry. I think another good topic of conversation as we are getting closer to our mini-boss is kind of discussing the nature of water itself. Get into a little bit of a philosophical deal, because unlike the Fire Temple, which the Gorons have kind of forgotten for the most part, aside from a few crucial differences and a few exceptions, the Zora have been intimately connected with the water, since they are semi-aquatic creatures themselves. And so I think there would be opportunities then for Ruto to teach Link a little something about what that means and the nature of water, the nature of reflections, and giving a kind of pseudo-religious spin to those things. How things are reflected in the heart and so on and so forth. It's the kind of thing that Link has never really had the opportunity to learn before, because he grew up with nothing but forest spirits. But it's in that conversation about reflection, reflecting on oneself, that they end up suddenly in a room like this. And Ruto is immediately on her guard, while Link and Navi are somewhat bewildered. And Ruto warns that something is not right here. They're looking around. There's not an obvious exit here. It looks more like it goes on forever. And almost immediately, once they start walking, they turn back, it looks like the way they came in is gone as well. They're looking around. They're trying to figure out what to do. And then it's Navi who notices first. Well, thank you. You're giving me too much credit. I have a general idea of where some things are located, and I'm kind of filling time that makes kind of sense until we get to like, this is where we want to talk about this thing. As it turns out, I'm a dungeon master. I'm good at making this crap up on the go. I don't think it's crap. Anywho, Navi is the one who recognizes that Link doesn't have a reflection anymore. And then Ruto again is watch out. And then Shadow Link appears. Thankfully, we have ourselves a Bigron sword, which is one of the major reasons why I did this before. I'd say why I got this before coming into this place, because, well, I do have the Megaton hammer, but regardless, there is a fierce sword fight between the two, which Link is eventually able to be successful with. I have scenes in my head from Samurai Jack where Jack has to fight an evil version of himself that is produced from the anger in Jack's heart. Not necessarily to that kind of Zen resolution where Jack just has to do some meditation, basically, and purge the evil from his heart, but more Link has to recognize the darkness within himself and then is able to kind of see the overextensions, the over-aggressiveness that he can then kind of take advantage of in order to win. It's amazing when you have a bigger one sword, Daisy. I told you I would get through this temple efficiently. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Sorry, Alexandria. 15-second ad. I'm back. Wait, where'd he go? Yamcha's here. Yamcha's dead. Oh no, Darkling. Oh no, never mind. Sorry. Take it. No. I believe in me. I believe. Hang on. Ha! No, wait. Ha! No. I'm not done yet. I'm alive! I am alive! I live! Everything's fine. All right. We're all good. Yes, please clip. Clips are good. Clips are always good. I should have pressed the clip button myself. That would have helped me. Oh well. I have to go through these to make sure they're all well and good before I put the full VOD up on YouTube. So hopefully us talking about this right now will remind me, in case you do not do it yourself. Good job. I can play music. Oh boy. If I didn't need the long shot for this one key, I wouldn't even need to go through this cycle again. But I only had to do the cycle twice. That's pretty good. Okay. Grab you because you're here. And then we need to grab this one. And there we are. The problem I have at this point is I'm not entirely certain what else Link and Ruto can do on their own. There are obviously some set pieces that are involved in getting our boss key, but those don't necessarily have to be done. So maybe then the conversation would have to turn to something else. Yes, this is the way I want to go. Maybe a why question for Link? Why is he doing all of this? Because up to this point, Zelda hasn't really come up yet. And so maybe that's a topic that they need to discuss. Especially if Ruto is still feeling jealous. Zelda has been in hiding for essentially this whole time. No one has seen the princess at all. So she can't answer any kind of questions like that that Link would most likely have. Heck, I can't even see see Ruto being a little dismissive if Link asked the question. She's being her tsundere self at the time. Ha, you missed. Ha! You missed again. Of course, now I'm in its territory. He's probably gonna hit me just as I'm leaving. Oh, Oh, he did it! Awesome. So this is where I'm really going to miss the hover boots. Hover boots are wonderful to have here. Oh, okay, never mind. We're fine. We got it. I guess, well, the other question, the other thing that we haven't actually broached is, does Ruto have to explain to Link what being married is? Because we haven't really had that conversation yet. Is that a conversation they need to have? Or is Ruto just kind of let it lie? Ow. So close. Well, Ruto knew what marriage was. Do you think they have marriage in the Kokiri Forest, Alexandria? There is no reason Link would have any idea what marriage is. He would have need to have, like, seen a wedding or something in order for that to be the case. And the only time we have him anywhere near a church, he's in the middle of essentially a war zone. I should have realized as soon as I hit it, he was going to jump down. Thank you. Because this is not the first time I have encountered a young man who does not actually know what marriage is and has to have it explained to him. Shimagamics, have you really always been the notion of that, or is that just something you gained from Breath of the Wild? Because it never even crossed my mind that that would be a thing until Breath of the Wild. It was never brought up. Okay, fair enough. All right, I am going to try and do this fight as efficiently as possible because I absolutely hate this boss with a fiery passion. Ruto is the one who points out that this water is not normal. She senses that there is definitely something evil here. And the two of them are basically banding together in order to defeat it. Zora using whatever water manipulation she can do underwater, and then Link, of course, with his hookshot and his sword. And I'm sure there would definitely be some shenanigans and some complications with the multiple tentacles. There would be more than two, honestly. I could see Morpha, like, conjuring up, like, I don't know, like 5 or something. Go full octopus even, go 8. It'd be a whole deal. And see, I've already lost it. Because I suck at this. And Morpha is horrendous. Not to mention, these hitboxes are just... Oh, I got him! I got him! No! I had you! Get back here! Ah! Yes! Dive bomb death! Dive bomb death! Yes! Oh, take that! I didn't think that was possible. That was amazing. So good. So good. All right. Dang it, I want that to be like the actual end of the thing. Maybe Ruto is like entangled and Link has to dive bomb on the amoeba in order to finish it off. It's so good. It is, of course, after, or probably during the fight, but especially afterwards, where Ruto realizes her inheritance, her destiny. And yeah, that's right, Shimigamics. Thank you. That took me about 40 minutes. The two have really come together over the course of this adventure. And now that Link understands what Ruto is actually meaning, I wouldn't say he's necessarily like fully on board with it, because there's still a lot that has to be done, but it's something that he says he would be interested in, and then she would be like, hang on. We can't do this. And so understanding both of their roles, Ruto is, I'm sure, sad about it. Her heart's probably breaking a little bit because of it, but she is also the one who is breaking it off herself. So she is ending it on her terms. So that does kind of help in this regard. There is... She definitely says this part. That she's alive. I can sense it. That's definitely there. Kind of as a follow-up to the Zelda discussion they were having previously. Trying to think if there's any other parts to this discussion that needs to be... I don't think so. What I would actually prefer if she said at that point is not about Sheik. Before, she said, "Don't tell my father," at the end of Jabu Jabu. But in this case, she would say, "Could you please tell my father?" Thanks, Daisy. And so that gives Link another excuse to go back up to Zora's domain to see King Zora and basically find out the... That's all right. I'll be sure to go back over and make sure everything looks good. So when Link returns to Zora's domain, he finds that everything has been restored. He definitely sees that the lake is back to normal. And there is, like, maybe one or two things we may want to do here first. Maybe. I'll think about it. I'll have to see if it makes sense to incorporate it into the story there. But regardless, he will go back to Zora's domain. And Zora's domain has been restored to its non-frozen condition, which I have to say always bugged me in the game proper, that we saved everything. Oh, it's not melted yet. That'll happen sometime. No, it has been solved because the curse is gone. The ice has melted. All the Zora are back to normal, and Sheik is making sure that everybody is good to go, as it were. And so... unhappy PC. That sucks. And so the conversation that Link and Sheik have regarding everything that is going on and how things are really taking a turn for the better. There is definitely a celebration. Link gives Princess Ruto's regards to her father, and at the same time gives the prescription for the eye drops, and then we have all of the eye drop and Bigoron sword description that we had before all of this. With that being the case, with the frog and everything, Link would rush out of Zora's domain, not even looking to see if Sheik is even there. There are two things that we could have happen here that I'm trying to see what would be the best way to combine them. So I rushed over here to grab the fire arrows because otherwise we have to do the whole time loopy thingy to get the right time thing. So we're definitely going to pick these up right here, right now. But the other thing is the fisherman. And I'm trying to think if there is a good way to include our fisherman in this. I was not planning on there being a specific reason for us getting the fire arrows, because there isn't any... We've been taught in the ways of magic, so I don't necessarily need to... we don't necessarily need to have a specific instance of getting every single magical spell or whatnot. Yeah, this guy's picture's in Twilight Princess. It's a fun little Easter egg. Just as a way for him to relax a moment during the chaos, that would make sense. And honestly, I was thinking of having that if we didn't have to, if we weren't going back to... Well, no, he could still have a moment to relax, I suppose. Because the guy would certainly be very happy about having the... Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! Done and done! Oh! Never better. Never, never better. You will never have as good a catch as that. And no, I am not going to bother to get the loach. Because I cannot do better than what I just did. Dang, I should have clipped that. So many things to clip later. All right, we're gonna grab these real quick. We still have an hour. The fire temple took twice as long as the water temple. Unfortunately, this probably means that the next time I play a randomizer, I am going to be thoroughly screwed. But I am taking this luck while I have it. Oh, thank you, Daisy. Thank you much. Thank you so, so very much. All right, we're gonna detour this way on our way to Kakariko. All good. I'm glad. And don't worry, I always go over any clips, ones that anyone else makes or I make, to make sure that everything look good. Sounds great. We'll see you, Alexandria. Thanks for being here. Guess I need to get some water. There we go. are. Down we go. I have so much health. It's great. So the way that our story is currently processed, we went up to Bigoron and got the Master Sword touched up and reforged. I just feel cool that I can shoot them. I'm not bothering to get that final bottle because that is not worth it. So Link is coming down Death Mountain, and Navi sees smoke in the distance and coming from Kakariko. And so Link comes into town and sees that there is fire. And Link is, of course, initially confused because there was no eruption. So what in the world is going on? There is pandemonium as people are trying to put out the fire, but there's also a lot of monsters around. It seems like there's been almost an invasion going on. And so it's not just Sheik standing there looking over the well. It is Sheik, it is a bunch of townspeople, what's left over of the surviving city guards, the militia, and Impa. Impa is here as well. And there is a fight. The monsters are pressing in, trying to get to the center of town for some undisclosed reason. Link attempts to assist. There is a lot of fighting going on. There is a in-battle quick conversation with Impa, expressing her gratitude that Link is here and is glad to see him. It's been a long time. You've grown up well. That normal stuff that you would say to that in the middle of a fight. But unfortunately, they are unsuccessful at preventing the monsters from getting to their goal. And their goal is to break a seal. We do not see that shadow. We don't see anything. It is an invisible malice that Link tries to deal with, Sheik tries to deal with. Impa is able to hold her own at least for a while. At the very least, Impa is able to drive it away from the village and off in the direction of the graveyard. But Impa is also very drained and cannot chase after it immediately. So there is a discussion over what just happened. Well, obviously the monsters were trying to unleash this evil shadow spirit that had been sealed for a long, long time. And normally, one of the roles that the Sheikah play is to ensure that that seal remains intact. But Ganondorf has been trying to release that spirit for quite some time and has now been successful. And Ganondorf hopes to use this spirit to take out the resistance, the Sheikah resistance force that has been trying to maintain a foothold of light in this ever-darkening kingdom. the diminished forces, the defeats that he has suffered in 3 different locations now, has inadvertently provided enough supplementary forces here to actually break through. Now, the major question at this point is, what drives Link to return to the Temple of Time? We have 2 different ways of doing this. And I'm not sure which way would be the best. So, option 1. Option 1 is that Link learns of the powers of the Temple of Time, the Master Sword, and the Ocarina of Time in terms of time travel right here, right now. The information that Sheik gives Link usually in the Gerudo Desert would happen right here. And considering the stuff that we need in order to get to the Spirit Temple, that's probably the only way it would have to work. The question is then... Okay. I think I got it. So, we need a little bit more time for Link and Impa to spend together, and they would be doing that in the Shadow Temple. Impa needs to recover, because the fight that she just had with the Shadow Spirit drained her. It should not be doing anything just yet, but it needs to be dealt with quickly. In order to deal with the problem, Link needs to get a certain ability, a certain bit of knowledge in order to see the truth. And Link is confused at what you mean by seeing the truth. And both Impa and Sheik would kind of have to explain in 2 different ways in which that can be described. Explanation 1, of course, is the ability to see through illusions and see through things that try to remain unseen. And Link immediately understands that because he was just trying to fight an invisible enemy. But the second one is to be willing to look past the facades, the deceptions, and the self-made lies of other people. And Lincoln's like, what do you mean? The shadows are buried here for a reason. There are secrets that should never come to light, but that you must be willing to face. And Link doesn't really understand what they're talking about. And so Link has to let's see here. We have a good thing going here. I'm thinking Link wants to try and investigate the well, because that's where it came from. And that's probably what Sheik and Impa are basically referring to as a initial place to investigate. So Link would go and investigate the well, and he would see a caved-in portion. In fact, I think if we go down there, we might be able to see it. I think they put it in there. We'll go down and check. Yes, so you can see the caved-in portion. So Link could come down here, he could see that however it burst out, it left an impassable blockage that he can't get through. And so the question that he and Navi then are asking themselves is, how can they bypass through that? What else can you do? Impa is watching at this point, watching them get up and watching them go to the windmill, because the windmill is used to bring up water. Now, in our story here, we have a bit of a endless loop with no beginning. And it's a fun thing for a kid to be like, oh, I got this thing that did this thing that led to me learning. And then as you think about it even further, it's like, wait a second. So he teaches me the song that I then go into the past to play, which is where he learned about the song, which he then teaches me. But then where does the song come from? It doesn't make any sense. The problem of time paradoxes. So instead, since we just dealt with an invading force, one of the things that the invading force did was they used this song in order to open up the well. And so Guru Guru here is upset because of everything that has happened. It's made a wreck of the windmill, obviously, because monsters everywhere. And they played this very weird song that caused more of this stuff to happen. And so Link comes back out, and there is Sheik again, watching. And Sheik is kind of giving that, I know what you learned about, talk it through, kind of deal. Oh, I can get heart piece. Nice. I might as well grab these. Bomb chew. And heart. Thank you. Goodbye. And the discussion of what the song is essentially used for. Ganondorf was able to extract, as it were, the song necessary to open up the well. The question then is, why is there a song to open up the well? Essentially, the song to open up the well is necessary because it needs... Basically, the Shadow Spirit needs to be resealed over time. That is one of the Sheikah's responsibilities, is to ensure that the seal remains firm. So now, Link, with this song, you will be able to open up the well yourself. That was weird. That moon was standing in one spot. It was not moving. And Link would respond, well, that doesn't help me. The well isn't open. It isn't open now. But it was available before. What? How does that help? And Impa would then take Link back to the Temple of Time. And so making their way back, Impa would start talking kind of in vague references to ancient artifacts and sacred abilities and all these things, and that description gets more and more accurate the closer they get to the altar and the pedestal. And then comes the explanation that we see in the desert that we can't get to until much later, is that the Master Sword is essentially a ship that allows one to sail up and down time's flow. And if you want to return to your original time, simply place the Master Sword back in its pedestal. And so Sheik takes leave of Link to head back to Kakariko and to help with the rebuilding efforts. And Link is left alone to consider what he has learned. Navi is a little nonplussed, but of course, Link is willing to at least give it a try. Traveling in time is not the traumatic experience that the first version was, thank goodness. But it does take him a little while to get used to. Oh, yeah, this is how kid body works. I'm just getting heart pieces. Because I can. Where else do I get heart pieces? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? Say the only other major one is in the graveyard. Oh, wait, no, there's one in... I need to say hi to that scarecrow anyway, so this is good. I will only 100%... I'm not 100%ing this. Stop. I need to stop talking like I'm going to. I need to learn to resist my urges. I am not 100%ing this game, despite the fact that I already have 15 hearts. And 57, 58 Scatolus. I promise. Okay, that should be it. Yes. All right. I'm doing this, aren't I? I am. Well, I know you don't care, but I care! I care! I need to get bugs again. I need to... Man, I don't even know where which bugs I've missed. I gotta plan everything. I gotta... No. No, I said I wasn't going to. I'm not going to. I am gonna look at these, though. They say that strange owl, Kapora, may look big and heavy, but its character is rather lighthearted. Okay. There's the one about him maybe being a reincarnated sage. That's right. I'm gonna keep telling myself that. I'm gonna do my best. Have I been down here yet? I don't think I have. I have not. Good. I will get it if it happens to be on the way. I say that after already specifically detoured myself twice now. I don't even need this! Oh my gosh, I just realized the thing that I actually detoured myself over here for doesn't even give me a heart piece. It gives me... capacity expansion. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot! Okay, these guys do not behave like the randomizer. Like, that's it. Okay, well, alright, well, thank you, I guess. That was a waste of my life. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna take this ocarina, and I'm gonna leave. I don't know what happened. I do not know. I do not understand. But it happened. And since we're here, There's a secret near a tree in Kokiri Village. Yeah, the only tree in the whole village. Anywho, that's besides the point. There we go. Okay, that is done. So, having regained his youth, or childhood, Link tries to kind of understand the situation he's in, because it's really, really weird to see everything as it was. And so, he takes some time to figure this out and opens the path to the bottom of the well. Can we do this? I think we can do this. Of course, Link is expecting, you know, a well. I mean, this right here is about what he expects for this whole place. But then he makes his way to the other side. It's not necessarily child-sized like this, because Sheikah are supposed to be able to come down here to do their sealing stuff. But the first thing he steps on down here is a bone. And he quickly sees skulls. Not Skulltulas, though obviously those are here as well. But actual human skulls. And a full-on skeleton. And things get progressively worse from there. Because everything here just feels wrong. And Link can't process it. Like, he's been in these kinds of situations before. He's been in evil dungeons and all of these things, but something about this place just does not feel right. Maybe it's the fact that he's a kid again. He feels more vulnerable. Ow. It could just be the atmosphere of this place. There is something very oppressive about these halls. There is something decidedly grim here. Say, I don't think I grabbed the other one. There you are. There are spaces here where an unnatural chilling, most definitely. There are spots where Navi says she can hear these spirits whispering. Link can hear them too. And they're not spirits. Dissonant whispers. Disembodied voices. With no rhyme or reason to most of them. A cacophony. With seemingly little rhyme or reason, but every understandable word fills Link with dread. And Link and Navi talk about this. Why do we feel like this? This isn't the first time that we've dealt with an evil place or fought monsters. So why does this place feel so particularly wrong? Oh, we're at 60. Ow. As I continue exploring, there's one particular voice that seems to gain volume and presence compared to the others. Oh, dang it. And Link would most assuredly fall into holes and whatnot as that one voice gets louder and louder and more intelligible. Talking of illusions and the things that you think you can see, the things you think you know. Do you understand where you are? This land of Hyrule, the supposedly blessed land where the sacred power is said to dwell. Do you understand the lives that were lost in the pursuit of such power? Do you understand the blood that stains these lands? This grass grows on blood as surely as it grows in soil and water. The hands that are in here are not just hanging out here. They're hiding. As once again, like I said, just this voice sowing these doubts and talking about travesties and crimes and horrors enacted not in the name of some evil force, but in the name of your supposedly righteous king. This royal family who set themselves up as protectors and guardians of the land have committed atrocities beyond count. And eventually, a hand comes up behind Link and grabs him as this body comes out. All the while, these taunts and these insinuations and downright accusations against Hyrule, its royal family, and even Princess Zelda herself. Because, of course, Zelda is not ignorant of these things, and yet she still allows them to remain silent, as everyone else. And as they do, more atrocities are committed. And the halls of the well, the shadows beneath, are filled with dead men's bones who have betrayed and been betrayed in turn. And it is only through struggling and finally at least killing this monster that Link begins to see. He begins to see the truth. He does not have the item, as it were, but the illusions are easy enough to see through. But he also begins to see more things. Murals on the wall of atrocities, wars fought over the Triforce. This place fills Link with horror. And he basically runs out of this place, horrified by what he has experienced. Oh. That's a decent comparison, yes. And with those questions lingering in his mind and a determination to get answers, Link will be determined to return back to the future. And start asking some questions from the supposed shadow people. I'm gonna do this real fast. I'm gonna say right. 1 for 1. Then I'm gonna say left. I am wrong. 1 for 2. Okay, now left. I am wrong again. It's gonna be left eventually. Or not. Okay, I want it to be right. I'm choosing left. I want it to be right. Oh, look at that! They were all on the right! Wow! That's nuts! I don't think he would. I don't think he would use this as a way to clear his head. I'm doing this simply because we're here. I have the lens of truth. I might as well grab it real fast. I don't think the treasure box game would come into play for us in this game. In this story. Because Link has just been traumatized. You have an idea, do you? What, pray tell, is your idea? No. It would have to be some major distraction, and considering his current state of mind, I don't see him doing anything but running and demanding answers. The treasure box shop was me being a completionist again. That's really it. You can always have it be a part of your story, because you can tell your own, but I have a hard time seeing it myself. Oh my gosh, all this horrible stuff has happened. What is going on with my past? Ooh, treasure? Really? I don't think it makes good narrative sense. Who would he ask those questions? He would ask Impa and Sheik, and that's exactly who he's going to be asking when we come back next week. Everyone, thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate it oh so very much. Thanks to all of you who've been here, hanging out, rating, chatting, and giving me suggestions. I love to have that opportunity to think of things that I did not. If you've been watching on YouTube, thank you so much for staying with us for this long. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts about some of the things that I have brought forth, that we have brought forth, and any ideas that you may think we should have moving on forward. I hope to see you again all real soon, somewhere out there in the multiverse.